Chic West Podcast is heart-opening dialogues for self-identified women on a Chic West, a movement moving forward, striving to live aware, bold, and whole. Welcome.
Hi, Chic West. Welcome to Chic West Podcast with a guest series. I'm your host, Estelle Thompson. This month, we explore and dive deep in our radiant heart. See, I'm no cardiologist, but I'm a human and I have a heart. In a generation that overused the popular follow your heart motto, I want to dissect your heart situation. What does it really mean to follow your heart? And how the hell can I do that? No recipe books here, no 1, 2, 3s. Your heart doesn't speak English or French. It speaks in pulls, shoves, and breaks, sounds, symbols, and stories. My hope is this, that through these podcasts and our guests this month, you start tapping into the song of your heart and start seeing the necessity of listening to your heart and letting it lead the way. Today, I'm just so thrilled to have on the show Elise Besler, also known as the Vocal Warrior. Elise is a voice teacher and voice empowerment coach based in Halifax, Nova Scotia, here in Canada. She has had an extensive performing career as a 4-time ECMA and Nova Scotia Music Award-nominated singer and songwriter, and is the creator and founder of her singing and voice empowerment training facility, New Song Studio. Some of Elise's many clients have dubbed her the stage fright whisperer over the years. Elise believes in the power of the human voice to heal and create inner change, which results in raising our collective global vibration. She works with singers and public speakers to help them gain skills and confidence to own their voice and rock the mic. Yay! Elise, it's so good to have you.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. And, we were just chatting before the podcast and just saying how you've been on my radar for so long. And as soon, I don't know, I might have found you on Instagram or something. And I was like, I need to have this woman on, like everything you exude and the essence of who you are. It's like, I just wanted to have you on. So thank you so much for your time. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you for having me. And I mentioned to you as well that likewise, I think you and I know a lot of the same people. So this is such a treat to be able to connect and chat today.
Yes. So the first question I always ask everyone is, what makes you feel alive today? So what does?
Okay. So first of all, I love this question so much. And I'd say today it's the opportunity to connect. We're in a situation here where we're all sort of locked down. This is being recorded during the virus, virus quarantine. I'm an extrovert, and I saw a really funny meme the other day, like introvert people check on your extrovert friends because they're probably not okay.
Actually, I think I saw that, Elise, and it was like, introvert people check on your extrovert friends. Like, they are not okay right now. They are not okay.
No, they're not. We are not okay. And I love my husband and I love my dog dearly, but I also love, I really am a true extrovert in that I gain energy from being around other people. And so I'm really actually grateful and feel really alive in this conversation. And then also just being able to connect with my clients. Technology is a real gift to us right now. So it's connection. It's this conversation with you right now. That's where I feel alive.
I love it. And I love that. I love to have you on the show. Maybe we can talk about this later, but I consider myself like a true introvert. And I love that you said I'm a true extrovert, and to see, and because I find this time right now, and I love that you mentioned it, it's like a global crisis right now. And it's like nothing anyone has ever gone through. Like, my husband was just talking to his mom, and she was, she's like 76. She's like, I have never seen something like this in our lifetime, and how each of us almost like live through this and react through this, like let's say due to our like personality type. Do you find it so fascinating?
I do. And my husband, if I'm a raging extrovert, my husband is a raging introvert. If that's even a thing, if
Yeah.
introverts rage, he's a rager. And he hasn't left the home. He's also asthmatic. So like health wise, we're really trying to keep him as safe as possible. And I'm the one that's leaving the house. And he hasn't left the house in 10 days. And he's in his glory. Like he's just like, give me a book to read, give me another, let me pour another beer, like whatever it is. Like I'm just enjoying this moment. And I mean, we're leaving the house to walk the dog and stuff, but it's not the same as, getting out there into the world as such, right?
Yeah, yes, I love that you share all this. Oh, and by the way, if you guys don't follow Elise on Facebook, you must, because you guys, I believe it's your husband you sing with. It's just so, just glorious, just so beautiful, Elise. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's such a gift. And it's a gift to be able to, first of all, being like, in self isolation with somebody who also makes music, but then also just to have that in a partnership. It's a real gift.
Well, and also I think in times like these, like it's more important than ever before to share our songs and share our art and share what like uplifts us. And, that is so important right now, like the whole creativity that can ensue from such a time.
Raising the vibrations, my friend.
Yeah, amazing. So I know I said your bio and stuff, but just can you tell us about yourself, just like your story, and for the sake of this show, and just like in terms of like when you woke up to your voice and when and there's like the heart component as well, like trying to bridge that in. And at SheQuest, we call it like hashtag my she story type. So I'd love to know more about you.
Oh, yes. Thank you for asking that, and also for giving me the opportunity to tell this story. It's the most important one to me, but I also love sharing it, just in hopes that it will inspire other people to step into their own vocal power. So, I was born a very, very shy child. Even though I'm extroverted, I, used to hide behind my mother's bell bottoms. I'm aging myself, of course, there. I'm a 70s kid. But yeah, I used to hide, and I was so shy I couldn't even speak. I couldn't even say hello to people. And it wasn't until, and my parents always encouraged me. I mean, they never forced me, which was great because it allowed me to sort of make the choice myself. And then it was probably around the age of 9 or 10 that I discovered singing and being on stage with friends and choirs. And I used to do musicals at school. And it really was sort of the emergence of what I would call my first love, which is singing. Even though I was shy, it was that courage, like just to show up and, being surrounded by like-minded kids to be able to build that confidence in myself. And so I really felt safe in that space. I felt safe as a performer, even though I was a bullied kid. I mean, I think all of us have had experiences with, with mean kids. But I was a bullied kid. And so I always felt like I had a voice when I was on stage. And then my mom, she's also a music teacher, and she knew that I needed to study voice with a teacher. And I started studying when I was around 12 or 13. And I'll tell you, I mean, what a difference that was to work with a teacher. And then I ended up studying voice in college and, got a degree in contemporary commercial music. I started teaching almost right away. And I loved teaching so much. And I also loved performing. And I did some performing. I recorded an album right out of school, had a little bit of success with that. I was in my early 20s. And I really truly sort of sunk myself into teaching, which is also a love of mine, and coaching singers to, reach their own goals. And so for about the period of about 18 years, I didn't sing and I didn't share my voice. I didn't share my passion with the world. As a songwriter, I was still writing, but I wasn't sharing it. And so it was kind of ironic that, I was this voice teacher, and I was working with all of these artists and these singers and public speakers, and I wasn't sharing my voice with the world. And the connection here for me is that broke my heart. So there was such a misunderstanding, within my body. And if you want to talk about the energy centers of the body, just my heart was sad because I wasn't sharing and expressing, my own voice. And for years, so that created obviously some somatic stuff, in my body, and some physical stuff that just, I didn't feel great about. And it wasn't until I started practicing yoga, which was probably about 10 years ago, that I started really coming into my own, my physical body again. And I recognized that if I didn't do it now, it wasn't going to happen. And when I say now, I mean on my 40th birthday.
Wow, what a milestone.
Yeah. So Scott said to me that the beginning of that year, my birthday is in September. He said, "What do you want to do for your big birthday this year?" And I said, or he said, "Do you want to have a big party?" And I said, "Yeah. And it's going to be a CD release party." And it was bold, girl. Like, it was bold. And, it gave me heart palpitations. It was like scary, but I was like, you know what? It has to happen now. And, I'm so grateful that it happened at that point in my life, because I'm now really able to, I don't know, appreciate the journey more, if that makes sense.
I'm super proud to have partnered with Hippie, a Canadian skincare company, in offering you 30% off all their products. I've been using Hippie Groovy Glow, Pore Hustler, and Jomo Mask, and I've completely fell in love with this not only natural, clean, but sulfate-free, alcohol-free, and did I say Canadian product? Hippie's mission is to simplify your skincare routine and bring practical, effective solutions to your moody skin. Their belief is that feeling beautiful in your own skin is a right, not a privilege. Hippie is offering Chic West podcast listener 30% off with the coupon ChicWest30. Go to www.hipbees, that's HIPBEES.com, and claim your 30% off any product in their shop today. That's ChicWest30, SHEQUEST30. I'm really excited to bring this mindful and sustainable plant-based skincare in the Chic West family. Enjoy glowing skin. Bye.
I think there's a misconception that, in the music industry, that, you have to be young in order to be successful. And, my greatest successes in my music career happened in the 3 years since I've turned 40.
Was it your coming out party?
It was my coming out party. And I think, like, for sure, just because I had always been this singer and I had been doing the work, like I'd been doing the inner work and the personal work. And, it wasn't until I stepped on stage that night, it was like the night of my 40th birthday. And there was, all these people there to listen to what I had to say. And I mean, you want to talk about a full heart, like, it just, and then that, of course, is the story of the vocal warrior. It's like, show up. You got to keep showing up, even if it scares the crap out of you, I don't know if any of that landed or like sort of like got linked together. There was a lot there.
It did. And I love that, because I know a lot of women listening to this right now, a lot of us are teachers. And I know I catch myself all the time. Like, I'll always remember, like, I became a yoga teacher, and I was just so excited that I get to share what I love the most with people. And yet, like, I remember the first year, like, I was like, oh my God, I'm not even practicing yoga anymore. Like, what am I doing? What's happening? Like, and it was like, oh yeah, like, teaching doesn't count as like practicing yoga, and all these, like, you're like, okay, wait a minute there. And it's like, it's a really complex where, yeah, to just like be walking your walk, like walking your talk, you know, and also, at least, like, I feel too, like, even from like the few seconds like before, like the moments before we recorded, like you have such a great, there's a permission about you, like we're in your presence and we feel so like everything, like you're able to give that to people so great. And yet this disconnection where you couldn't give it to yourself,
Thank
for
you.
so many years. Oh,
Thank you for saying that. I just recently did my Enneagram personality type.
yeah.
I'm a number 2, which is a helper. And basically that personality type is that we will often give to others before we give to ourselves. And I think that the process of that 18 years of like heartbreak for me really allowed me now to say, okay, no, like it's okay if I also give this to myself, because of course we cannot keep it all for ourselves. Like if we want to feel love, if we want to feel support, we have to give it away as well.
But, and I love that. I love the symbolism of like your 40th and like taking your power back, all this love you were able to give to others. Like now you were like giving it to yourself, which would expand even more to your studentship.
Yeah. I think the idea of that, like the permission, you mentioned permission and all of that sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm taking my power back, but it was always there, right? Like it was always there. It was something that I always knew I could do.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And so, like, why is it important for you now to work with women and work with their voices? Like, why does this light you up so much?
Oh my goodness. So first of all, it just on to the point that we were just talking about, I think that when one woman empowers herself or is empowered, she then gives permission to the rest of us to do the same. The majority of my vocal warrior clients are women. When I say vocal warrior clients, I do sort of like a hybrid of voice empowerment coaching and voice lessons, either for public speakers or singers. But, the majority of them are women. And I think like our feminine, like our divine feminine is about that power of allowing rather than forcing. And I think, we live in such a patriarchal society, and we're so used to fixing and, having to change in order to fit a mold, that I think that the more we do this work, whether we're singers or not, this is about truth speaking too. Like it's not just about singing. Like the more we get into that divine feminine and do this work, I think we're going to encourage each other to do the same. And it's that permission, right? The one woman steps into her power, she encourages the rest to do the same.
If a woman would to come up to you, at least like, I guess in your courses, you might, elaborate on this, but is there like hands-on way we can connect with our voices today? We had, I don't know if you know Vanessa Lindsay Bolton, I think it's her last name.
Yes.
Do you know Vanessa? Yeah. And she said she had this great tip where she was like, just humming, And I love that. Do you have other tips for us to like just connect with our voice like today?
Yeah, I love Vanessa is another woman, same as you and I, who like both of us have been following each other for a long time and we haven't met each other, but we know Becky Keene.
Yes.
So Becky is my business coach. I'm working with her right now. And she always says to me, she's like, Elise, you and Vanessa are like cut from the same piece of cloth. You have to.
I know. And I've just had Becky on the show too.
Yeah.
So we're all like the circle of like.
It's such a small world, but we are in Nova Scotia, so it's even smaller still. But I love that. I love that Vanessa mentioned that. And I think, to echo that and also to support that, I say just to use your voice. So when we use the mechanism itself, if we want to get a little sciencey, works best when there's muscle memory to rely on. Right. And so if we don't use the voice, so whether it's humming or singing or truth speaking, the voice, it doesn't have its strength isn't built. Right. So I say, use the voice, sing and love all of it. Like love the cracks, love the pops, love the notes that sound like seagulls, like love, embrace, and befriend it all, because all of those sounds are good sounds, and it sort of helps us to stop the judgment.
I love that. I love it because like it requires practice to find your voice. Like I'm just always looking out for like, I find nowadays we have these like not cliche sayings. Like I love saying them too, but like, what does it mean to step in your voice? When people say like find your voice, blah blah blah, like step in your power, like, but what does that look like? And so I love that it's so concrete. Like just use your voice.
Well, I say this as a voice teacher, like as a technical voice instructor, I mean, somebody wouldn't expect to be able to play the piano perfectly right away, or to play the drums, like to be a really badass drummer right away. Like we all know that those instruments require practice. And so it's the same for the voice. Like we have to use it. We have to work it out, because if we don't work it out, then it's like, it's not going to get strong. So yeah, so important. And so important to embrace it all. Embrace it all.
Yeah, and that's really your vocal warrior philosophy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want to know, because this inspires me so much. Do you have a daily soul practice or ritual that you do perhaps to ground yourself? It could be related to voice, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. I love this question so much, because I think that the connection, like for me personally, as a singer, as a speaker, as a singer, and as a coach, it's been really important for me to discover some really beautiful practices for myself. And my personal soul practices involve breath work, and they involve energetic, like boundary work. I think that the practice of energetics can directly sort of support the way we communicate with every part of ourselves and the rest of the world. And so one of my favorite practices is literally to stand if I'm feeling overwhelmed and I don't know where it's coming from. Like, how sometimes you just feel sort of the energies around you, and they're sort of pulling you in different directions.
Yes.
Is just to stand with my hand on my heart. So my left hand on my heart, and I press really good and hard, like into my chest. And then I take my right hand out in front of me, like I'm, like a stop, like I'm pressing to say stop, or pressing against a wall. And I say, I am Elise. You are everybody else. And it seems to, and then I just breathe into that. And it seems to sort of remind me that, it really is about choice for me, right? To get involved or to get pulled. But that's one of my favorite. It's just like energetic boundary.
I love that. I'm just doing it right now.
Yeah.
I love it because it has the two, like it has inward and outward, and yet there's like a really balancing field to it. Thank you so much for offering that. Do you mentioned yoga. Is yoga like a big part? Is it something you'll recommend to your students for like their voice, let's say? Or like I heard that we're more afraid we literally are more afraid of public speaking than we are to get, like, we'd rather get hit by a bus than having to do public speaking.
Yeah. And even further to that, Estelle, I will say that my clients would rather get up on stage and sing than they would get up and speak.
Wow.
So when we're practicing and getting ready for performances, it's like people are happy to do the singing because it's what we've practiced. And then we also we work on introductions. So when my students perform, they introduce themselves and they talk a little bit about their song. And that is the most challenging thing for people. They would rather get and bare their soul and belt out a song and never have to say, hello, my name is Elise and I'll be singing such and such, So yeah, you got that. You nailed that. It's so true.
It's so fascinating. And I deeply realized that because like I love to do circles before my yoga classes. And oh my God, that freaks people out. Like, I swear I've had people like, I felt like at the same time, I'm like, no, but because you feel this way, like you must, like, and it's just literally, it's just like saying hi. And you're in a yoga class where like basically the goal is to connect with yourself, with others, with it's like this is yoga too. Like to say, I just found that, and at the same time, like it's almost got me sad sometimes
Mm,
to think, we were so just like how we gotten so far from our neighbors,
yeah.
and as I say that, then I'm like, oh my God, what's happening right now? It's like even more be like, never take that for granted. Like our closeness. Like what comes to mind when I say that?
I really hear that. And I just got a full body goosebump when you said that, because that's the thing that concerns me, is that, this is, this experience that we're all collectively having right now is causing a lot of anxiety, or exacerbating, a lot of anxiety. And it's not really a fear, but my worry is that it's going to create a lot of social anxiety that wasn't there before, or like really ramp it up, and so, yeah, I think, oh, and I hear you say a circle. I'm like, I need to go to an Estelle yoga class, because I'm like, I am all about that. And I love that connection, but it really does freak people out. And I think you notice, of course, the softening at the end of the circle. And you notice how, when women, you asked me about why I do this work with women, and it's because there is a softening. And then there's also a trust, right? That the rest of us can actually support each other and lean on each other during those times of vulnerability. I mean, it's friggin' scary. Like, it's scary to look at someone you don't know and have a conversation, or to make noise, even, in singing.
It really is. And for me, it's just and it's always an invitation for me, my circles, like, even if I didn't want to say it's okay, but to just be there and just to look, to listen at others, because in yoga, there's always this aspect of witnessing, your vitality, your energy, or your whatever, it could be your song, is just waiting for it to be witnessed, I just find that, anyways, we're going on a tangent, but I just find that, so powerful and
Agreed.
so needed,
Yeah.
and it's such a paradox too, because like we're so afraid of it. And yet it's like, that's our deepest, like, human desire, is to connect, and to self-express, to be afraid of like what we need the most, Ah.
I do. And I think that very thing is one of the reasons why I wanted to start the Vocal Warrior work, like the coaching, the voice empowerment coaching, because I believe in my heart of hearts that we all do need that, and we all want that connection. And so this sort of just helps to sort of lift that veil, or the misunderstandings or the fears away from that. So, yeah, I hear you on that one, loud and clear.
Your work is so important, so important. And would there be other tools you suggest to just feel empowered? And like sometimes, I always say, because I do mantra work, let's say my yoga classes, and it's almost a work of hearing your own voice.
Yeah.
Would you have like other tools? Like just let's just maybe stay with the voice component.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting because the voice component is twofold, right? There's the inner voice and the outer voice.
Yes,
And
yes.
and I would say that the inner voice is likely more important than the outer voice, especially when it comes to courage and confidence and building that. And I would say that, like, my favorite magic pixie dust tool for that is to feel empowered and to embody, is to reframe mindsets that aren't serving.
Yeah.
And then, like, really practicing, like, speaking forgiveness for those, like, misunderstandings that we've had. This is an exercise that Becky Keene has shared with me, and it's been a game changer for me, but it's also been a game changer for my clients. So, yeah, empowerment, I believe, begins within, and it's the fire that burns within, and it's the flutter that's in our heart, and it's the anchor that we feel or we don't feel in our pelvic floor when we go to sing, like this is what we need to be able to be empowered, is to really, really reframe that inner voice.
Who has told you can sing? Like, when did you believe this? Like,
Oh yeah, and that's real. Like that comes, especially my adult students. And right now, I'm primarily working with adults, and I have quite a few teens as well, which is a really interesting. It's a very tricky time. I remember, it's been a while since I was a teen girl, but I do remember what it was like. But yeah, the adults, it always seems to be like a grade 3 choir teacher, or you know, uh, a relative or someone that says, be quiet, or you're singing out of tune, you shouldn't sing, you should lip sync, or something like that. And it's such an impressionable age. And then we carry those stories with us. And so really uncovering that and reframing it is so powerful.
hey there, interrupting this incredibly heart-opening conversation to let you know about my new art channel. If you are listening to this podcast as a Chic West member, this feature is included in the membership sisterhood community. Yay! More than 21 days of mindful art classes and curated topics for each class, such as 21 days of birds and butterfly, 21 days of women in power, 21 days of love and loss, earth and sky, and so on. This year, I'm running a year-long 112 days of painting meditation, where I will upload 9 paintings a month inspired by the Radiant Sutras. Together, inspired by mindful artists from all over the world, we paint 1,000-year-old yogic principles and enter a gateway of wonder and awe. If you aren't part of the membership and would like to try the art channel and meet its community, this option is now available. Use the coupon SHEART, that's SHEART, to get 1 month free, and tell the women you know and love about this outstanding opportunity to develop a home art practice. Chic West membership stores will open again soon, but until then, enjoy my art channel and say yes to creative living, yes to painting for joy, and yes to connection. Now back to our ever-expanding and electrifying conversation. So powerful. And like, I work with people through painting, right? And just their creative lives in general. And I swear it's usually like there's like one public shaming moment that happens. Like, you only need one.
Yeah.
And then you're like set on it. And like that becomes like the story, like moving forward.
Yeah.
And usually like people like I can see in their faces, like right away, they know. Like they know when it happened. Not all the time. Like sometimes you need some digging,
Yeah.
And I find sometimes it's not even stuff that's ours,
And I would say, yeah, I hear, yeah, that makes me giggle a little, because I would say it's never ours, whenever I've my own personal uncoverings, I'm always like, well, I was carrying that, and I am not carrying it anymore, because it was never mine, or like, that's not the outfit I chose to wear today. Like, no, thank you. But yeah, I would say that it usually is somebody else's opinion or somebody else's thought, or even their own experience, their own legacy, what they're carrying, that's heavy. That is some heavy stuff for us to carry, like generations and generations of other people's beliefs, right? It's like, nope, take it off, lay it down. It's not mine. Doesn't belong to me.
And before we move on to the rapid fire question, I want your take on, I teach just like yoga mantras to kids versus like adults. And I love in your bio, because you were talking about our vibration and everything else. And do you notice, like, do you have with the adults to do some like kind of inner child like work and stuff? Because like just love doing my mantras with the kids because it's so easy, right? Like the kids, they're so open and they just haven't been. I mean, now it's like younger, like I'm talking like 5, 6, because I find it's happening like younger and younger, where like almost their voice is being like shut down a little. Like it's so beautiful because when I do it, the kids like the mantra stays with them. Do you find that? And then I guess my question is twofold. Like, how big is the difference between the kids and the adults within the work? Do you know what I'm saying?
I do, yeah. So I have a great example of this. For the last 2 summers, I've done a kids singing camp. And, I've had kids from, ages 8, 7, sometimes 7 up to probably 11 or 12. And we started doing this experience at the end of each day. We do a circle because I too love a circle. And we do a circle, and this actually became the kids' favorite part of the camp, even with all the other fun stuff that we did. And it was for them to take a piece of paper and write down what their favorite part of the day was. And then we had a box that I had painted the happy box on it, and we put it in the happy box. And then the next day we opened it up, started, the camp with a circle, and read the quotes from the day before. And it was really so beautiful. I mean, some of them put little silly statements and stuff, but, a lot of them were like, I love that my voice has power. Or I love that I learned that I can sing without people laughing at me. Or, and it's so innocent, but it's also like for us as adults to look at that, we're like, oh my gosh, I need to do that too. And like out of the mouths of babes, as you said, like it flows so easily for them. And so not specifically with mantra, but then like, I think about how it takes sometimes a little bit longer for an adult to be able to connect to that and say, I believe in my voice. I believe in me. I believe in us, So I don't know if that answered your question, but yeah.
Oh, it does. It does. It just reflects just how guarded we become, as adults, just out of protection, I guess,
Yeah.
And I was just reflecting on how the kids, like, it was so cute, at least, like, you do, like, a simple mantra, like, be here now, be here. And then you're done, the class is over. And as they walk out the class, like, you can hear them, they're still singing it, like, it stays with them. And for me, that so reflects, like, your vibrational field and how it affects, like, how that impacts it, because we're really just vibration. And so how singing can be just such a powerful agent in self-transformation, What do you think?
Yeah, I just said I hear that, and I appreciate that's one of the things that just draws me to this work so intently. And I don't specifically work with young kids on a one-to-one setting, but when we're in a group setting like that, yeah, it is like again, there's that innocence, there's that just that pure sheer joy, and also then just to see them emerge from their shells, like
Yeah.
it's pure inspiration.
Yes, I agree. I agree so much. I could just talk to you all day, I think. All right. So my last questions are kind of just rapid fire. Are you ready, Elise?
I am so ready.
Talking about mantras, do you have a favorite mantra?
Yeah. I am breathing in. I am breathing out.
How about a favorite flower?
I love peonies.
How about a favorite book that you've read? Perhaps we can, about like voice empowerment, or we've also touched a little bit on limiting beliefs.
Yeah. My favorite is The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. That just full stop.
Do you listen to podcasts? And if so, do you have a favorite one?
So I'm new to the world of listening to podcasts, as far as like seeking them out to listen to. And I know I'm pretty late to the game, but no shame. I'm just like enjoying it now, discovering it all. Actually, speaking of Brené Brown, her first episode dropped last week, and I don't know if you have listened to it yet.
No, is it good?
It's so pertinent to what's going on in the world right now, and it's called the FFT podcast, or the FFT episode. And now does your listenership, is it okay if I use the curse word?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So this episode is all about FFTs, which we are collectively experiencing right now in the world. And it's the first fucking time. And
Ah!
it's the first fucking time we've ever experienced this. Like you were saying, your husband's mom is like, I've never seen this before. Like, I don't know what's going on here. So it's a wonderful episode, and I will definitely be listening to hers. And of course, I love the She Quest podcast. Like, come on, girl. So
Amazing. But yeah, I saw the Brene Brown was coming out, but I'll have to listen because this is too funny. The title is epic.
yeah.
What about like a favorite treat? Like, what do you? It can be food. It can be a treat, like in general.
So my favorite treat will always be California Chardonnay.
Oh, white.
It's just like when right now it's not even so much a treat. Like I just said, I made a little joke on social media the other day, but I'm having a problem social distancing from my wine these last weeks. It's like, whoo, girl, you got to slow down.
I love myself a good glass of wine too. So, girl, we're in this together. So I have one last question. It's a bit of a loaded question, but I have faith in you, Elise. Knowing what you know now, about the power of singing and self-expression in general and the power of a radiant heart, would you wish women to know more about its magic?
Yeah, this is gold. This is a golden question, I think. I would want women to know that it's totally possible to find and express and uncover your voice and express deep joy, sorrow, anger, and love. And that all of those things are equally as important to express. And that they can be expressed through singing and through music and through truth speaking.
This landed in me so nicely. Thank you so much. I just love you so much. Where can we find you and how can we support you?
Well, the website is thevocalwarrior.com. And my socials are at The Vocal Warrior. So both Facebook page and Instagram. I'm hanging out, I'll be honest, like I'm hanging out on Instagram a lot more than Facebook as far as the social media aspect of my business. But, I would say like how to support me, just like I love having conversations with people. So, everyone loves a follow and a like, maybe a comment, but, just like to engage and chat with people, to gather information. Like, what do people want to know about voice empowerment? That's really where I'm at right now in my business building.
I love that. Everyone, Elise is an extrovert. Go send her a message.
And when it's safe to do so, please come and give me a hug.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to give you a hug and to meet you in person. Again, Elise, thank you so much to, just your presence and your essence. I'm just in love with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast was produced by Tosh Taylor of the Podcast Hub Productions. Find her online at podcasthub.ca.